Pepperdine Graziadio Business School is stronger than ever. We are so proud and so grateful that this fall that we have just started, we're wrapping up the second week of class, and we have been over-enrolled this fall. And we are so grateful for that. We worked so tirelessly, our admissions and recruiting and academic programs teams and faculty worked very, very hard to encourage students to come and join us online. We're fully online this fall, and so it really means a lot to us and should mean a lot to you that the brand of this business school reaches far and wide around the globe, so much so that people are willing to join us virtually for the beginning of their academic degree program. So I want you to know that we're stronger than ever. We're doing well, we're successful, and you can continue to be proud. So grateful for that. I also want to encourage you to stay connected to us. You'll hear about some ways that you can do that, but we need your input, we need your participation. We always need you to fill out any surveys that come your way because those are usually related to rankings. So try to remember not to let those drop off the inbox too far, but to always take a moment to support us in that way. We appreciate it immensely. So I want to also introduce this evening, we have a very special alum who has agreed to join us and share some comments about his experience studying with us. So I want to introduce our alumni speaker who's going to give a bit of a testimonial. So many of you may know him. Mike Zahigian is the Senior Vice President and Chief Information Officer. He's responsible for leading the organization that delivers global technology and information systems that enable successful development and commercialization of Amgen's products. I just assume that there's a lot of technology in your company, and there must be a lot of responsibility and a lot of challenges that go along with this very important job. So we're very proud of you for that, Mike. So Mike joined Amgen in 2001. He's held roles of increasing responsibility within the information systems area. And most recently, Mike served as Vice President, Information Systems, where he led the delivery of technology services for the global commercial operations. And that included Amgen's 4 regional business operations, global value and access, and global marketing, as well as corporate functions. So prior to joining Amgen, Mike was Vice President Technology for SourceMind, a venture-funded technology company, and Mike led SourceMind's design and development of their SaaS to facilitate collaboration between corporate marketing and their agency partners. And so I'm so delighted to hand over the floor to Mike Zahigian, who's going to share with you about his experience at the Graziadio School. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you. It's a nice introduction. I appreciate that. It's nice to see some of the names on the call too. I see some familiar Amgen names, so that's makes it more comfortable, certainly. I thought before I make too many comments, it would be good to know, so I have been at Amgen for about 19 years. So just to put that in perspective, I had not yet led a large organization within the company. I was more of an individual contributor. And so there's without a doubt some credit that my experience at Pepperdine gets for the progression I've had since then. And I'm going to try to talk about a couple of the things that in particular, when I reflect on my experience, that I really think have helped me in the last 10 years in particular. And I will tell you that continue to help me every day as the CIO at Amgen. So it's not just they help me to get here. I think importantly, and this is one of the things I would encourage anyone that aspires to this kind of level of role. A lot of times you focus on what it will take to get you there. And guess what? The day you get there, you realize that's when it really starts. And what really matters more is what you do when you're in these jobs, not that you get there. I would offer that as a learning. So one of my best experiences at Pepperdine, in this class, I will tell you, I bragged to so many people about this particular class, and I use a lot of it when I talk to people, was the organizational leadership course. And some of the things that helped me in that class. So I will be honest, when I started my MBA, I thought it would help me a lot. I wasn't quite sure exactly what I wanted to do next in my career. And this particular class tuned me into something, which was I actually had a passion not just for technology, but for leading people. And that really became clear in the midst of that class. I remember studying the thoughts and the careers of people like Michael Dell, who I recently had a chance to meet, and that was really fun. Also, people like Walt Disney, as an example, and the gentleman that founded partners that founded Home Depot. So I read about their stories. I resonated a lot with Walt Disney as a value-based leader and studied a lot on that. And what I learned from that class wasn't just that I wanted to be an org leader. It was that as being an org leader, you have a chance, if you're authentic, to help make the world the place you want it to be, to help make a company the way you want it to be, and the way that you uniquely believe it should be. And, you know, I really have always felt that I had some unique things about me that I thought would be useful to Amgen. And I would say that that class gave me some of the tools to start to help Amgen to realize the benefit of what I brought. So I learned, aside from being inspired by those stories, I learned some techniques that were very important. So I never thought of myself as a consultant. I was mostly always a staff member of a company in my career. And what I learned from that class was the importance of, think of it as internal consulting. So just having good consultative skill. We read a book by Edgar Schein, and I still have that book in my library. I look at it all the time, actually, surprisingly, because I'm always referring people to it. And for those of you that have met me at Amgen, you might hear me ask questions like, help me understand whatever it is. Those are all consultative techniques that I tend to use to learn, candidly, to learn. It's not a trick. It's not a gimmicky thing. It's to learn. And in learning, it just, you put all the data together and it makes you have a better position to lead from. So I would credit that class for a lot of that. One of the other techniques that served me really well that I learned in that class as well was this idea about I think it's called, I'm drawing a blank on the name. How can I draw a blank on that? Appreciative Inquiry, I believe, is the topic. Yeah. So for those of you that, you know, a lot of the time we spend in corporations trying to figure out how to solve problems. And what I would tell you is most of the time people's approach is to just solve the problem. And so if you could imagine visually, what's happened is the company's moving along and then the problem dips you down. And so most people focus on just getting back to that even line. And what that mostly means is you are missing opportunity. Because whenever you take a dip in your business, the opportunity is to not just get back to even, it's to go ahead. It's to think about where good really should be. Where should we really be? And it may be at a better place than we were when we started. So that concept of appreciative inquiry, I've used it with teams a lot within Amgen. I don't always credit the name of it. I do always credit that it's something I learned in business school at Pepperdine, so people hear that. But I find that that technique is very helpful because it leads people to use their creative capacity to envision something better than the starting point we had before the problem. Anyway, these are just a number of examples that I would give. I use these techniques and others all day, every day. They're not like once in a while things. They have become through use so much of who I am as a leader that I don't even recognize when I'm using those tools anymore. It's just become part of who I am as a leader. So I really think that that has been valuable. And to some degree, the thing that it gave me and that I would offer a Pepperdine MBA gives you is one other thing that I haven't mentioned yet, which is confidence. So one of the biggest dilemmas I had back when I was a senior manager was I suspected that I was going to be good at some things and could take on more responsibility. But my confidence was kind of middle of the pack in the sense that I didn't know yet. In the midst of getting the education, I had peers in the program that gave me a lot of compliments about how I was handling things there. And then importantly, I started to use the tools in the learning at Amgen. And the response I was getting, people didn't know what I was doing, but they were responding to what I was bringing. And that led to what I would call a dramatic increase in my confidence as a leader, right? And in the end, it gave me enough confidence to be authentically who I wanted to be as a leader, which I just feel is very important as part of this. So I've talked a little bit about my career at Amgen. I think the thing I would impress upon you the most is the learnings that you get are not just for the current job you're in, and they may not be for the next job you're going to have either. It's really for your whole career. It's an investment in yourself, and it can make a huge difference in where your career goes. Only you will know. But I think my experience is a testament that I certainly don't know if I'd be in this position today if I hadn't gone through the program. I really don't. I would give it that much credit. And I will say there are benefits outside of work too. So some of those techniques that I use, my wife's pretty quick on it now, so she knows when I ask, help me understand something, what I'm doing. But I'll tell you, it's no less effective, with my kids and my wife and others to use some of these. And it can make you more effective in your life as a whole.
The only other thing I was going to say is just how valuable the network is. I think when you're in the program, the thing you don't realize is that, especially as your career goes on, there are always moments where it's like, well, I wish I knew what somebody else is thinking about this moment in time, or how they're approaching this kind of problem. And I think one of the benefits at Amgen is it helped me build my community or network within Amgen. So there's still quite a few peers of mine now within the company that came through at the same class that are, directors or executive directors or senior managers or whatever their roles are. And we went through the program together, and it does give you a bit of a bond when you're taking things on and you have some common language. And then I think for my colleagues that were in the program that are at other companies, we use each other quite a lot, I have to say. It's pretty active. Most of them were not in IT, but that's okay, because I oftentimes have questions that have nothing to do with IT. So I've just found that to be a big part of the asset as well.
That's terrific. Thank you so much. Okay, Jason, back to you.
So at this time, I'd like to move on to a short presentation of the benefits that you receive from the Graziadio Business School and the Graziadio Alumni Network, from both the Alumni Engagement Office as well as some other internal stakeholders. So at this time, I will turn it over to my colleague Bridget Young, our Assistant Director of Concierge Services.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so glad to see all your faces tonight. You're gonna get this slide deck afterwards, and there are a lot of hyperlinks in here, so please feel free. This is the way I want you to have. I am your point of contact. Any questions, or if you want to get engaged with alumni, with our office, please contact me. We would love to have you volunteer back at the school. But some of the resources available are Pep Connect, which is our online alumni directory. Think of it as LinkedIn, but you don't have to be a first connection, and you can connect with people. So kind of like what Mike said, is waves helping waves. So feel free to reach out to alumni on Pep Connect. Next is social media. We have Graziadio channels specifically, as well as Pepperdine channels. So please follow us, because we are active on social media, and we post a lot of our events and alumni spotlights and things going on. Next are events and newsletters. We have a ton of events, as you know, going on. Hopefully you get our e-newsletters and you're up to date on them. Volunteer opportunities, we'd love to engage you back at the school, and this is a hyperlink to the involvement form. We have a Graziadio blog, which is kind of like class notes, where you can let us know all your alumni. We have an alumni email with a at alumnimail.pepperdine.edu. We have online library access, because we're virtual now, so there's a ton of online databases if you need them. And we also have an MBA Plus program. If some of you don't know, it's a 75% discount for the first 4 units if you want to get a new concentration. So, and then it's 25% after that. Again, feel free to reach out to our office, and we would love to be of service to you.
Great, thank you so very much, Bridget.
Bridget, I have a question for you.
Sure.
On the volunteer opportunities, are there any of those that are suited to if I wanted to volunteer with one of my high school age kids and have us do it together? Do you have any examples of anything that might work for?
Sure. I mean, right now, you know, we're virtual, so it's a little bit more difficult. But like, for example, 9/11 is tomorrow, and we usually have the planting of the flags on the Malibu campus. That is something that we do, and it's a volunteer opportunity, and you could obviously bring your son or your children to something of that nature. We have beach cleanups and that type of thing. And then also, you know, when I also say engage back to the school, we have like guest speakers. We would love to have you come and talk to some of our students, you know, someone at your level at Amgen. So we have a variety of different opportunities. And as Amy had mentioned, she serves on our Alumni Leadership Council. So there's a lot of leadership opportunities as well. So we welcome you.
That's good. Yeah, I'll reach out to you. That all sounds a lot of good stuff there. Thank you.
Okay, so moving on to our next benefit. Amgen is actually a corporate partner with the Graziadio Business School. And so there are some employee benefits that you receive with the corporate partnership. So you receive 10% tuition scholarship towards any PGBS degree. So I know the majority of you have MBAs on this call today, but we do have our DBA program, which is our Doctorate of Business Administration. And also we'll be talking about our executive education program in just a bit. There's also the MBA Fast Track Auto Admissions and no GMAT as a benefit that you receive. There's also the waived application fee. So there is a code of GBSWVR Corp. So if you do know anybody, any of your colleagues who also are interested in going back to getting a graduate degree, there are some of those benefits for those individuals as well. And then there is also the corporate partner scholarship. So if you would like to read more information when you get the slide deck, you can click the link below under the more info. As part of our recruitment, we do have many MBA programs and MS programs in our portfolio. If you want to connect with the recruitment team or have a colleague who is interested, if you click on this link right here, there is the whole portfolio of all the different recruiters. So we have an array of full-time programs, part-time programs, executive programs, and also, like I said, the Executive Doctorate of Business Administration. And then it also talks about the schedule and the years of work experience and the location of where those programs are held at. In executive education, so these are short non-degree certificate courses designed to help you enrich your knowledge and your business skills to enhance and continue success in your professional career and also to help boost your resume. And some of the executive education certificate courses are corporate social responsibility, leadership essentials, cyber risk, and our mini MBA. For Amgen employees, you get a 20% off the certificate courses with the code AMGEN20. And registration fee paid for certificate courses can be applied to a PGBS degree program as a one-time tuition scholarship. So if any of the certificate courses do interest you, you can contact the executive education recruiter, Lisa Chance, and her information is via the hyperlink below. We also have the Pepperdine Fund, which is our annual giving fund. 85% of tuition is covered for students, and so there is a big push to actually help to fund different scholarships that I'm sure some of you received as students. So the Pepperdine Fund is a way to give back to the university, and there are appeals throughout the different parts of the year. So if you are interested in becoming a Pepperdine Fund donor or an executive associate for Graziadio, you can inquire when you receive those giving notices at the different times of the year. Our Career and Professional Development Department has many offerings and benefits that they offer alumni. So one of the things that they offer is one-on-one career coaching. So for job search strategies, career transition or growth, in your current company, resume interviewing and networking tips and salary negotiation tips as well. They offer a lot of career and professional development webinars and events. So you can go to the B School website and hit the alumni events or events tab there, and you'll see all of our events and all of career and professional development's events, as well as other events that the Graziadio Business School is putting on. Career Leader is an online assessment tool that helps to measure interests, abilities, and motivations, provides personalized report of recommended career paths. So that is a tool and a benefit that is offered to you as an alum. Handshake is the gateway to online career services. So you can go there and, there could be Amgen jobs that are listed there, other jobs in other companies, but that is kind of the one-stop shop for the online career services portal. So that is our presentation today for our internal stakeholders and the benefits that are offered to you as both current students and alumni of the Graziadio Business School. Now, I would like to turn it over to Robin Doty to do a quick closing.
Hi, everybody. I just want to really thank you today for joining us. And Mike, you just touched my heart on so many points that you shared. It was great lessons learned. I really like the point you made about make the world the way you want it to be. And that hits home the most because what we do is we're cultivating best for the world leaders, and that is a best for the world leader. So I really appreciate you sharing that insight. I took copious notes today, and I thought you really shared a lot of tips, and I know your time is really valuable, as well as everybody on the call. Making the time to be here today, to get to know your colleagues and to network together means a lot to us, and we hope to do this again. As we, I think, build momentum, we'll have more colleagues that you'll be able to network. And so I hope when you see the slideshow presentation that we gave today, if something interests you or you want to know more information about, I hope that you'll reach out and let us know. And I hope to see all your faces and get you involved again in the school. But in the meantime, I wish you much success and to be safe, to stay healthy out there. And with all the challenges we're having in the world, we need each other. So we're here for you. Are we done with the polling, Jason? Because I wanted to see, Bernice, did you have any closing remarks that you would like to add?
Oh, thanks, Robin. Just to say thank you. It's great to get together. This was really fun, and I enjoyed it immensely. So I look forward to doing it again. Much gratitude and congratulations to our new students, Alex and Travis. Welcome to the family. And it's a lifelong commitment. So We're always here for you. Pepperdine is always your home, always, to all of you. You can always come home to Pepperdine. We are always available to you, and we look forward to staying in touch with you and wishing you all the best. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening, and we look forward to getting back together again soon. Take good care.